to the bold analysis. In this podcast, I will be brutally very honest, and I think the politics of isolation, if we keep quiet about this, then we are doing a disservice to the country. And in this podcast, I want us to listen and look at what Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata is saying in this article, because it's a very simple article why isolating Mount Kenya is not a wise strategy. That was on 25th. That was a Saturday article. This article is very heavy and very deep, and I will echo what Irungu Kang'ata is talking about here without adding a comma or a full stop or any corner of a comma or full stop or any other word on it. You need to remember, and we should tell Kenya Kwanza Battalion this: your re-election plan, according to the social contract with the people of Kenya, was that you give me one term, I work for you, then I come back to you with a track record. To President William Ruto, Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, and the think tanks around the president. Raila Odinga joining government, then using that to lobby for votes, was never part of the isolation politics. I'm saying was never part of your re-election plan. I'm saying this because Musalia Mudavadi went to Kakamega and said that when Ruto and Raila are together, is there any person who can defeat them? And the gullible crowd said no. The same week, Dan Wanyama, the Webuye West Member of Parliament, said, standing 2 meters in front of the president, I will keep on repeating that we'll have to isolate Mount Kenya. And now that brings me to this article by Irungu Kang'ata. Irungu Kang'ata is saying that it is unwise. Ignoring any region is failing to see political opportunities that exist in every part of the country. And while politicians would want to devise all manner of theatrics to sustain their dominion in power, in my church, the theme is about dominion, their political dominance. But that must not mean that you become so selfish. The same way William Ruto says that the country was going down, so he brought Raila Odinga to sustain because he needed to have a country. The political elite and the president must also be told that even beyond 2027 general election, you need a country. This country is not going to end on August 10th, 2027. Irungu Kang'ata in this article is saying things that I want us to get. It is not the moral or right thing to do to isolate any region in the quest for political power. Kenya is one, and its unity is the key. Isolating Mount Kenya is akin to adopting a strategy that isolates Coast, Rift Valley, or Lake region. Is power such an important thing as to cause anyone to devise a strategy to isolate any region? He asked that question. The true Kenyan leader is the one who would want to preserve the country even if he risks losing power as opposed to acquiring power at the expense of unity. And let me tell the politicians, and let me tell the president and his team, isolation card is not available, is not at his disposal, especially in the Kenya. That card is not available. And someone should tell Dan Wanyama, that is not available. And if the tribal angle is what is being mainstreamed to replace the issue-based politics, then I think the political parrots, let me not call them elite, the political parrots must be told they're too late. Kenya is moving on. In fact, let me tell you this. Isolation is not existing in Kenya because why it is impossible. There is no cave where a tribe is living just themselves. There is no area in this country where it's only one tribe. My sister is married in Muranga. She's a Luo. My worker back home is coming from Kakamega, Kwisero. He's a Luya. My landlord here is a Kisi. What are you saying, guys? What are you saying? Kenyans don't exist in that thinking. There is no place where people exist. There is no cave where it's only one tribe. Look at this Nairobi. Just know who is your neighbor. Your neighbor is Kikuyu, that is Luhya, the other one is Kamba. Then you're talking about isolation. Isolating what? Isolating what? Against who? And politicians have to be called out. That one is not available. There is a place this country has come from. The politics of 41 against 1 messed this country in 2007. When people raised their arms against others for no apparent reason. Why the and in this podcast, through just that article, I want to explain why the political parrots must understand the danger in isolation politics. It is important that they understand. Even the Bible says, remind them, even if they know. I know they know. You and I know they know. But this is something that must be spoken as it is. Isolation card will only divide the country. And let me say this. I have heard the president speaking in Western Kenya saying, and in several other parts of the country, that we are uniting the country. Who told politicians that Kenyans are divided? You know, we have some word unity in Raleigh, and I'm wondering, who told you that Kenyans are divided? Rigathi Gachagua spoke about shareholding. He had very bad tribal venoms. But did you ever hear any case of somewhere beating the other person because Rigathi have said that someone voted for Ruto and someone never voted for Ruto? The country is not divided. No. When you go to your workplace, this podcast, I want to be practical. I am a Luo. This podcast, we've been doing projects. I was in Mombasa. I was in Kilifi, Magarini, and Watamu. I was in Nyandarua. I was in Kano. We helped Chas the other day. I've been to Mukumu. You remember the mzee that we were helping? Yule mwenye alikuwa afanyiwe surgery. And you can name them. When you look at how people support, it's all supported across the tribal line? No? No. Everyone, if you check everyone. And by then next we are supposed to go to Eastern, to this side of Cumberland. So, politicians should not lie that Kenyans are divided. Kenyans are not divided. It is them that are dividing the country. Political wars against issues bring people together. Political wars against communities divide the people. A good example is the finance bill. And I want to tell you, you know what happened in June 25th? You know why it reached that point? Because there were issues that brought people together. And that is what the political parrots don't want to understand. That is what they can't. No, they can't see that. Finance bill was never about you're a Kalenjin, you're a Luhya, or you're Luo, or you're what. Is it not on record that children of prominent politicians were in the street? Because it was bringing people together. So instead of isolating against a tribe, we should isolate the whole population against an issue like poverty. Yes. You should isolate the Gen Z with employment. Those young people are looking for jobs. So, the moral fabric of our society, we are not bothered about what Kenyans are not tribal. In these offices, people work from different tribes. Sometimes that's why I like Kenyans in diaspora. Hey, wakifikanga US, hakunanga chaguo ni Mkikuyu ni upu. Sometimes you see a lot of unity. You see unity because nipatikana in another country, amjuani, yani mmetoka Kenya. That is just enough. I was seeing a documentary about Ghana's some Ghanaians thriving in Dubai. I really love that. The only thing that brought them together was they come from Ghana. Even in this country, that is the direction. Number 2, I want you to read this. Politicians saying Mount Kenya will be isolated are merely banning escape ships. The people will have no option but to fight to the end. And that brings me here is, when you isolate a region, that region will fight back. And that is what Kangata is saying. That build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. A desperate opponent is like a caged animal. He fights very fiercely. Just yesterday, there was a very shocking meeting between Rigathi and Martha Karua. You'll not be shocked to see the other day Uhuru Kenyatta meeting Rigathi and Martha Karua. And before you know, other prominent people from Mount Kenya are joining it. Before you know, they are regrouping. Why do you think the region where I'm come from, why do you think Western Kenya, the Luo Nyanza, for over time, after every election, people got very angry and people felt like protest was the only thing. Because of the isolation card that was used by the politicians there. The voters were told, you've been isolated. And if Raila gets it, probably Raila breaks that feeling, so you'll have a sense of belonging. So if Raila fails to get it, everyone, kila mtu amekasirika. People are like, this is not it. And that is what caused the perennial flames around the lake. And I can tell you that it is so deep that when CSS, when they're given cabinet slots, someone need to go and run with the politics of now you sense of belonging. Now this is what we are doing. We are making it look like if we are not, if so and so is not in government, then I'm not part of it. So I should revolt. I don't belong. The third other issue he's talking about is political opportunism. And he said, another political logic against seeking to isolate the region is based on the idea of political opportunism. Those that might appear to be a problem to one politician might actually be an opportunity for another. And therefore, ignoring a region is actually giving a through pass to one's opponent to go and conquer that region. Yes, the guard is taking. Matiang'i is going there. Everyone is going there. So he's saying instead of President Ruto isolating Mount Kenya, he should go there. I want to add two. Probably it's one because I've said the other one. Isolation politics opens door for rigging, election rigging. It actually kills the spirit of democracy because, number one, if you isolate Mount Kenya and you now think you based on Western, do you know you can have a free ride in that area and fill all the ballot boxes, the whole manner of votes so that you get the number. And at the same time, if you're not strong on the other side, you might not even field agents in that region. And your opponent can also do some malpractice on the other end. So that means it erodes the principle of a free and fair election. As a country, if you're patriotic about the country, the best you can do is to seek and call out the political parrots. The drums of discord we are beating is a fire that will not be able to put off. Let's think through it. So, hi guys, I'm here. Now the Bold Foundation, we are back. I promised that we were going to hand over a check of 100,000. This is just a dummy. So we are handing over 100,000 to the family of Charles. Now standing with me here is Jack. Jack ndiye alikuwa anaongea kwa ile video. Then you have Maureen. Maureen is the wife. So Jack, Maureen, Jack uta acknowledge just tumepata pesa and say something to school.
Yes. So my name is Jack Jeno Nyango. I'm the son of the mmeshukuru sana tumepata 100k tumepanga and may God bless you may God bless you 100 times. Tumeshukuru sana, Mungu abariki kabisa kabisa. Asante.
Now guys, on behalf of the Bold family, let me take the final opportunity to say poleni sana. May God stand with you. The not dead does not knock, and it comes. Na watoto ni wangapi? 3. Wengine wa huyu ndiye mkubwa. Okay. Tell us something about it. Sambia jina.
Okay, naitwa Maureen. I'm the first wife of Charles. I'm married to Charles. I have 3 boys, Jack, Sean, and Gray. Nashukuru sana vile mmenifanyia, nimepata vile naweza lipa bill, na washukuru sana na Mungu asaidie.
So guys, so thank you. They will, from here they'll proceed to make sure that they give Charles a final send-off. We've supported Charles twice, the bill and the burial. On behalf of myself, the Bold team, and my family, I want to say thank you and may God bless you.